well-loved. He was a hard worker, working for many years at Olmsted's with you, his wife. He enjoyed spending time in the garden and spending time with the grandchildren. As you can see, he liked to carve and build toys, and you're going to miss him a lot. He was a calm person, a peaceful person, non-confrontational, and he was a man of faith, prayerful. You have a memory of praying the rosary together as a family, which I think is a precious gift that he gave to you, the faith. And you chose this beautiful gospel today from the Gospel of Matthew, which over the last couple of years has kind of become my favorite passage in the scriptures, where Jesus invites us to come to him, all those who are weary, carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. It talks about why some people have this strong faith and why others struggle to know God. It answers the question of where are we going? In the gospel, so many times people seem confused and lost when Jesus says to the disciples, will you go away? And Peter says, where are we going to go? Or where Jesus says to them, where are you going? Or Thomas saying, Lord, I don't know the way, where am I going? So Jesus says today in the gospel, come to me. I'm that way. I'm the one that you're coming to. He invites us to this relationship, and that invitation was extended to Antonio. The faith was passed to him by his parents through the church and the sacraments and in the community where he grew up, and he seemed to respond generously to it. He was one of those infants, those sons and daughters that God has revealed his to. And when he says, I have hidden them from the wise and the intelligent, he's not talking about being dumb or stupid. He's talking about a certain humility of spirit. He's condemning people that have this intellectual pride or this power, this idea that I can figure it out on my own, I can do it on my own, I can make sense of everything on my own. He's trying to make our heart and our head go together, but he's saying that for faith to be alive, it needs to live in our heart. It needs to find the home in our heart. It's a relationship of love. And so recognize that in this simplicity, this humility, that's where people find themselves nearer to God than maybe the wisest rabbi or the wisest sage. And so it's an invitation to cultivate a spirit of simplicity in our lives that focuses on the important things, not multiplying unnecessary things, multiplying problems, multiplying difficulties. It's a focus on our faith. It's a focus on our family, our community, on the will of God in the present moment. And in this, Jesus reveals himself. He chooses to reveal himself. It's quite a claim that he makes. He says, all things have been handed over to me by my Father, and I give it to you. He's the greatest claim maybe in all the Gospels, that you and I may be sons. The Son, capitals. What he's saying to us is, if you want to see the heart of God, if you want to see the nature of God, God's whole attitude to men, look at me. It's in Jesus alone that we see what God is like. He gives us that knowledge to anyone who's humble and trustful enough to receive it. And then finally he says, come to me, all you who are weary, all you carrying heavy burdens, I'll give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I'm gentle, I'm humble, and you will find rest for your soul. For my yoke is easy, my burden is light. And so with this invitation and with an answering to it, no more on ourselves, no demanding from ourselves. We come to Jesus not by this, but by giving him the heart of God. And so for us, religion isn't a thing of burdens. It's not a list of endless rules. It's not a voice that says you shall not. It's a yoke that we place on our shoulders. It's walking with the Lord. It's at his pace. It's following his direction. It's trusting in his leadership. And the yoke that connected, and it was to those animals. And there's a legend that says that Jesus, as a carpenter, would make yokes that people from all over will shop and to buy these yokes for their animals. It's almost as if he would have had a sign on the front of his business saying, my yokes fit well. It's made Antonio who seem to live this, or this is the legacy that he has given to all of us. He's walked death into the yoke that he carried into to be again in heaven. He is a saint. Made stars, these developed in the life, and so that's who, and that he is with all. And when we celebrate this Mass, that's why we brought his body to the altar, this Mass for his soul. So that perfection is more to be accomplished. Before the Lord, he would show us those things that he's still working on in our souls. And I'm sure it's the same to pray for those who have passed away. Jesus, that he died in our prayer. Antonio, we now entrust. If there is anything that is a hurt, none of it carried into heaven. Every tear, this sorrow, and the Lord takes care of this holy fire, Jesus, but for the gift of our lives, we hand in prayers, we call upon his mercy, bring to completion anything that because of our faith that we've been given, answered Christ. I will show you